Hey, welcome everybody to our 1979 Mets replay. We are in game 37. We are one game behind the actual record for the Mets in 1979. So that attests to the accuracy of the stats for payoff pitch. Pretty impressive. And on the mound for the Mets today is going to be the left-hander Pete Falcone, who gives up the long ball, and we're going to have the duel of the lefties because Ken Holzman is going for the Cubs, and I'm going to get the game started right away. Um, I'm going to go over the lineups and the defensive positioning using the iPad, and we're going to look at this real quick here. The outfield for the Mets is Steve Henderson in left, Mazzilli in center, and Joe Youngblood in right. Those are the guys that normally start. At third is Richie Hebner. At short, Frank Taveras, Doug Flynn at second, and Willie Montanez at first. The catcher is John Stearns, and on the mound is Pete Falcone. Now, batting for the Cubs, it's going to be Ivan De Jesus, shortstop, Ted Sizemore, second base, Bill Buckner batting third, first base, Kingman, the cleanup batter, left field, Bobby Mercer, the right fielder, batting fifth. Jerry Martin will be batting sixth and playing center field. Steve Olivares at third base, batting seventh. Barry Foote, the catcher, batting eighth, and Ken Holzman batting ninth. For the Mets, it's going to be Joe Youngblood leading it off in right field. Frank Taveras, shortstop. Lee Mazzilli, center field. Batting fourth is Richie Hebner, the third baseman. John Stearns, the catcher, batting fifth. Willie Montanez batting sixth, the first baseman. Steve Henderson, the left fielder, batting seventh. Doug Flynn, second baseman, batting eighth. And Pete Falcone batting ninth, the pitcher. And that's going to be it. We're going to start, we're going to roll right away, get the crowd going here. Let's see, we're going to go back a little bit. And there we go, we got a crowd going. And here's the first pitch of the game. It's Pete Falcone. It's the battle of the lefties. Two southpaws on the mound. It starts off wheelhouse 89. Wheelhouse 89 is going to be outrange. That's going to be a fly ball. Actually, it's a grounded to short. Frank Taveras, he's up with it. One down. Ted Sizemore, that's righty, plays second base. That's a tough 23, and that's going to be a base hit. So Sizemore on with a single. And Sizemore is not a threat to steal, with only 3 stolen bases and 3 caught stealing. Bill Buckner, the batter, he's a lefty. That's ballpark 78. That's going to be in play. And in play 63, it's going to be a ground ball shortstop. And we rolled an 11. That's going to move Sizemore over. Ground ball 6-3, and Sizemore goes to second base. And that's Dave Kingman. Here's the pitch to Kingman. That's a 7. That's a tough 23. Tough 23. It's a strikeout. So Kingman goes after the high heat. And Pete Falcone retires aside. Kenny Holzman. Going to close this in just a little bit there. Got a better view of everything. There we go. All right. You should be able to see that. Let me move it out a little bit. There's it. All right. So it's going to be Joe Youngblood leading it off for the first time this season for the Mets. Here's the pitch from Holzman. Holzman was 6-9 with a 4.59 ERA. That's in play 69. And that's going to be a ground to second base. Sizemore, 4-3, one down. Next is Frankie Taveras, the shortstop, picked up from the Pirates. That's going to be in play 30. Going to re-roll that. In play 38. It's going to be outrange. Grounder back to Holzman. Holzman feels his position, throws out Taveras. 2 down and Lee Mazzilli. That's patient 72, and that's outrange. Grounder to second, Sizemore 4-3, side retired. No score here in the top of the second inning. It's going to be Mercer, Martin, and Olivares. Here's the pitch to Bobby Mercer. And that's ballpark 99. That's going to be in play. And that's an 88. In play 88 is an out. Grounder to second. Flynn to Montanez, one away. Next is Jerry Martin. Martin against lefties batted .321. So that's a 10. In play 0-0. That's going to be rare chart play. And that's where we get to roll our Appa dice. It's a 54. We're going to go to 54. Batter hits short fly to center field. Second base backs up as center fielder comes in to make the play. Roll 2d6. 2-4 they collide. We roll the 7. So 2-4 they collide. Batter, blah, 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 blah. Okay. 5-8, second base. Let me see if I can show you that. 5-8, second base makes a great over the head catch. Put out 4. There you go. So great play by Flynn on a pop-up. That looked like it was in no man's land, but Flynn somehow made an over-the-shoulder catch to retire Martin. 2 outs now. And he gets a hand from the crowd. That's a 5. Ballpark 76. That's in play for Ontiveros. And that's a 0-1. That's going to be a ball driven into the gap, and that's going to roll to the wall. Mazzilli after it. That's a double for Ontiveros. So Ontiveros at second base, and it's Barry Foote now. 2 out. Ontiveros takes his lead. 11. Ballpark 64. That's going to be in play on Barry Foote's card, and that's a 10. In play. That's a base hit. Actually, it's going to roll to the wall. Gets by Mazzilli. That's going to score Ontiveros, and that's going to be a double. Back-to-back 2-out doubles here, and the Cubs are up 1-0. Kenny Holtzman. Kenny Holtzman bats an 11. That's defense 24. Defense 24. Error third base. Hebner. It's going to be an error. It's a 2, 24. Yep. And we're going to see what kind of error it is. It's a 1 base error. So going to third, it's going to be Foote. And on at first is Kenny Holtzman. So first and third now with 2 outs, 1-0 here in the top of the second. Ivan De Jesus, who grounded out in his first at bat, that's a 9. Patient 50. Patient 50 is going to be a long single into the gap to center field. And runners are going to advance 1 base. That's going to score Foote. And Holtzman is actually going to hustle over to third with 2 outs. He's a 6. That's an RBI single by De Jesus. And that sends Holtzman to third. First and third now. 2 outs. 2-0. Cubs. And it's Ted Sizemore. And that's a 9. Patient. A patient 18. It's going to be a base on balls. Bases loaded. And it's Bill Buckner. And that's a 7. Tough 72. It's outrange. Sky to center. Lee Mazzilli out number 3, but the damage has been done. And the Cubs pick up 2 runs. And we go to the bottom of the second, 2-0 Cubs. It's going to be Kenny Holtzman versus Richie Hebner. Here's the pitch. It's a 5. That's patient 73. That's out range. It's going to be Sky to center. Jerry Martin to his left. It's under it. 1 down. John Stearns. He's a right-handed batter. Patient 60, 94. That's going to be out range as well. That's going to be fly to left. Dave Kingman squeezes it, and it's Willie Montanez. An 11 is ballpark 0-8. That's going to be wheelhouse for Montanez, and that's going to be 34, and that's going to be a base hit for Willie Montanez. Base hit to right, and Mercer gets it in. So with 2 outs, Willie Montanez is on at first, and it's Steve Henderson. And that's a tough 69. Tough 69 is going to be out range. Grounder to second. Sizemore flips to De Jesus for out number 3. So it's Dave Kingman leading it off. It's going to be Kingman, Mercer, and Martin here in the top of the 3rd at Shea Stadium in beautiful downtown Flushing. And it's the pitch to Dave Kingman. That's a 6. That's a tough 78. That's a strikeout. Bobby Mercer. Bobby Mercer is 0 for 1. He grounded out. That's in play 32. And that's an out. That's going to be grounded at first. Montanez takes it himself. That's a second out. And Jerry Martin out. And that's an 8. That's patient 39. Patient 39 is going to be a double. So Martin pulls one down the line. Henderson plays it in the corner. The throw to second, not in time. So it's a 2-out double for Jerry Martin. Now Steve Ontiveros is a switch hitter. He's going to be batting from the right side versus the lefty Falcone. Versus lefties, he batted 286. Here's the pitch. It's a 6. That's tough 43. And that's going to be a strikeout. Curveball got him. Retires the side. Cubs lead 1. 2-0 Cubs. We're at the bottom of the third. Kenny Holtzman versus Doug Flynn. And that's a patient 75. Fly to center field. Jerry Martin is there. Makes a nice running catch. And P. Falcone. Falcone is a 5. That's defense, 81. That's going to be out no matter what because it's too high a number. And that's going to be fly ball right field. Bobby Mercer makes the catch. 2 down. Kenny Holtzman sets and deals. That's a 10 wheelhouse, 99 wheelhouse. And that's a fly to left, deep left. Kingman back to the track, makes the catch. 3 up, 3 down. Go to the top of the fourth. And it's P. Falcone versus Barry Foote. And that's a 9, patient 10. Patient 10 is a base on ball, so Foote is on with a walk. And Foote may steal. We're going to roll for him to steal. And he does not. So it's going to be the pitcher. Holtzman is an F batter. An F bunter, excuse me, and we're going to bunt with him anyway. An F is a successful sacrifice to the first baseman, Montanez. So it's a sacrifice bunt. And moving over to second is Foote. Ivan De Jesus, who's 1 for 2, he has an RBI single. That's a tough 58. A tough 58 is outrange, and that's going to be fly to right. Youngblood, 2 out. And Ted Sizemore now. Sizemore is 1 for 1. He's singled and walked. Here's the pitch from Falcone to the righty Ted Sizemore. That's a 5. That's going to be ballpark 84. That's going to put it in the in play 50, and that's going to be an out. Fly to right. Youngblood again makes the catch, retires the side. We go to the bottom of the fourth. Mets are bringing up Taveras, Mazzilli, and Hebner. Taveras is 0 for 1 with a ground out. The pitch from Holtzman to Taveras. And that's a 3, ballpark 73, so that we're looking at it in play 30. And that's going to be outside the hit range, and that's going to be a line drive caught by Ivan De Jesus at short. So he hit it right on the nose, but right at the shortstop. Lee Mazzilli. And that's Snake Eyes defense, 64. That's going to be out of range on both ends. So it's a line drive, center field. Jerry Martin running in makes the catch. And with 2 outs, it's Richie Hebner here in the bottom of the fourth. It's 2-0. We didn't roll them all, so let's do that again. And that's a 5, patient 89. It's going to be outrange. That's going to be a grounder, second base, Sizemore. Over to Buckner. Side retired. 2-0 Mets. We go to the top of the fifth. Pete Falcone on the mound for the Mets versus Bill Buckner. Here's the pitch to Buckner. That's a 9, patient 41. Patient 41 is a hit by pitch, so Buckner's plunked. And Buckner may steal. He's a 3, does not. Davey Kingman, that's a defense 58. That may be potentially an error left field. Henderson is in left, and Henderson is a 4 error. So he's pretty good. That's not going to be an error. He's going to make that catch. And it's going to be a short fly, which Henderson gets under. Out number 1. And now it's Bobby Mercer with the one down here in the top of the fifth. Pete Falcone, the pitch. And that's ballpark 58. That's going to be in play. And in play is 80. It's going to be out range. Grounded to second, maybe a double play, and it's going to be a double play. And it's going to be, what did I say? 80 was 4-6-3 double play. Mets are out of the inning. So it's Flynn to Taveras and to Montanez. Pretty. Stearns, the catcher, who's 0 for 1, he's flied out, versus Kenny Holtzman in the bottom of the fifth. Mets are at shade. Nothing's happened so far here. Mets have managed only one hit. And that's tough. A tough 76. That's going to be out to center field. High fly. Shallow. Back goes the shortstop. In comes Martin. Martin makes the catch. And we lost our crowd noise. I don't know what happened there. Let's get. And it's Willie Montanez. Willie Montanez 1 for 1 with a single. And that's going to be a 9. In play 92. That's going to be an out. And that's going to be a grounder. Second base. Sizemore to Buckner. 2 down. And it's an in play 79. Fly ball center field. Side retired. Kenny Holtzman's cruising. Kenny Holtzman. Now, Pete Falcone was 6-14 with a 4.16 ERA, but he sure gave up a lot of home runs. Gave up 25 home runs in 184 innings. And the ball was not juiced at this time. That's ballpark 60. That's going to be in play to Jerry Martin. Jerry Martin's 1 for 2. He's flied out and singled. And that's going to be a 26. In play 26 is going to be a base hit single. So Martin's on with a single. Leadoff single for Martin, and he's not a threat to steal. Steve Olivares. And that's 7. Tough 38. A tough 38. It's going to be a strikeout. Olivares down on strikes. And now it's Barry Foote, right-handed catcher. Batted .289 versus lefties. And that's a 9. Patient 99. Patient 99 is going to be popped up. And that's Hebner in foul territory. Makes the catch. 2 down. And it's Kenny Holtzman. Patient 24. Patient 24 is going to be a double for Holtzman. And that's going to, I believe that's going to score Jerry Martin. And it does. And we're going to have to double check that. We rolled an 8, which is Patient. And Patient on an 11 is a 24. So Holtzman can hit. It's an RBI double for Kenny Holtzman with 2 outs. And it's 3-0 Cubs. And we're going to double check. Martin has to be 6 or more to score, and he is. He's a 6 runner. So with Holtzman on his second, who's also a 6, we have Ivan De Jesus. And that's 10. In play 38. In play 38 is going to be an out. That's popped up to the left side, and Hebner squeezes it to retire the side, but it's 3-0. The Cubs pick up another run here in the top of the 6th. It's going to be Kenny Holtzman facing Doug Flynn. The pitcher, we may see a pinch hitter. And that's 7. Tough. A tough 67 is a ground ball second base, 4-3, put out. And we're going to see Ed Kranepool. Oh, no, Ed Kranepool's a lefty, so we're going to bring in the righty Alex Trevino to bat for Falcone. Here's the pitch to Trevino. Oh, I forgot this baby. And it's an 8. In play 67. That's a grounder to second. 2 down. Joe Youngblood, who's 0 for 2. Right-handed batter. Tough 21. That's a strikeout. Curveball got him. That retires the side. New pitcher for the Mets. New pitcher for the Mets is going to be Neil Allen. against Ted Sizemore. Here's the pitch to Sizemore, and that's 10, in play 91. And that's fly to left field. Steve Henderson back, makes the catch. 1 down. 3-0. Cubs lead it here in the top of the 7th. That's patient 0-0, so we're going to have to pull our app of dice. Love doing that. And that's a snake eyes. What's going to happen here? Batter using an illegal bat and is caught. He is ejected and league suspends him for 5 additional games. Wow, what? Bill Buckner is caught using an illegal bat and he's suspended, so he's going to get pulled from the game just because he's too good to play. And I like that result. So Buckner is out of there, and he's gonna appeal it. So he'll probably play the rest of the series. And Larry Bittner is going to come in. So Larry Bittner is replacing Buckner, who's ejected for using an illegal bat. That's hilarious. All right, Larry Bittner. He's a lefty, plays first base in the outfield. And okay, Bittner versus righties batted 272 and 400 versus lefties in 40 at bats. Say goodbye to our app of dice. And that's a 10. That's in play 71. In play 71 is going to be an out range. Grounded is short. (6-3), and that's 2 outs. And we have Dave Kingman, who's 0 for 3. Pitch from Neil Allen. And that's 6 tough 94. Tough 94 is going to be a fly ball left field. Steve Henderson, he's there for the out. And that retires his side. It's going to be Frankie Taveras leading it off for the Mets versus Kenny Holtzman here in the bottom of the 7th. And that's a 5. Patient 57. Patient 57 is a fly ball right field. Bobby Mercer. 1 down. Lee Mazzilli. Lee Mazzilli's 0 for 2. And that's ballpark 93, so that's going to be in play. And that's a 29, an in play 29 versus a lefty is a base hit. So it's a single for Mazzilli. Mazzilli's going to play it safe. Not running right now, losing 3-0. And that's an 8. That's in play 17. In play 17 is going to be Richie Hebner, the batter, bats lefty. It's going to be a sharp liner that drops in front of the left fielder. So Hebner goes the opposite field, and Mazzilli has to stop at second. So it's first and second, only 1 out. And it's John Stearns. Here's the pitch from Holtzman. That's defense 45. And that's an error first base. Larry Bittner is at first base now. Bittner is a first baseman 2, error 2, and a 45 is going to be an error. We're going to check and see what kind of error that is. It's going to be to the first baseman. It's going to be a drop foul ball. Wow, that doesn't help us at all. But it's an error. I don't know how to apply that. Let's see. In play. Error. Oh wait. Undo. In play. Let's see what it is. Drop third strike. Fielder's choice. Sacrifice bunt. Catcher obstruction. Sac bunt with a. Oh, that's a tough one. We may have to input that later. I'm going to put error. First baseman. No, that's not going to work because that's going to put our runner at first base. So let's look at something called miscellaneous. Illegal pitch, a sign error. There it goes. A sign error to the first baseman. Done. And Stearns is still batting. Okay, great. So whenever you're in doubt, go to miscellaneous. And it's John Stearns. And that's a 5. Patient 42. Patient 42. And that's going to be a double. Let's see what that does. That double, runners advance 2 bases. There's only 1 out, so Hebner's going to hold at third. RBI double, 3-1. 3-1 was second and third, and there's action in the Cubs bullpen now. Willie Montanez And that's a 10. That's wheelhouse 67. A wheelhouse 67 is a grounded shortstop. And Richie Hebner won't score on that. 6-3. He holds up. And there's 2 outs now. And it's Steve Henderson. And that's a 10. Wheelhouse 56. Wheelhouse 56. Oh, right. It's one point away from being a single. Look at that. Versus a left-handed pitcher. It goes up to 55. He batted .395 versus lefties. But we rolled a 56, so that's going to be outrange, and that's going to be a ground to third. Oliveros fires to first, and that retires the side. But the Mets pick up a run on a couple of hits, and the Cubs lead it by a score of 3-1. We go to the top of the 8th. It's Neil Allen facing Bobby Mercer, and that's an 11. Ballpark 35 versus a lefty. That's going to be in play, and an in play 32 is going to be an out range. Grounded at first. Montanez flips to the pitcher. Allen covering, 1 away. Jerry Martin next. He's 2 for 3. And that's tough snake eyes. That's going to be a strikeout. So high heat, the cheese, got Martin. And 2 outs now here in the top of the 8th. And it's Steve Oliveros. That's a 10 in play, 59. And that's a fly ball right. And that retires the side. So Neil Allen has been holding his own. Let's bring this up a little bit. There we go. And now, there you go. Okay. Doug Flynn facing Kenny Holtzman. And that's a 9 in play, 72. And that's Sky at center field. Martin there. 1 down. And that's the pitcher's spot. We're going to get a pinch hitter here. And who are we going to bring in? Who are we going to see? Elliot Maddox. Maddox for Neil Allen. Here's the pitch to Maddox. Maddox is a righty. Batted .240 versus lefties. And that's a 3. Ballpark 73, so that's going to be in play. And we can't get any good rolls here. In play is going to be out range. It's going to be a grounded at first. Bittner steps on the bag. That's 2 down, and it's Joel Youngblood. Youngblood is 0 for 3 on the day. And that's a 7. Tough 94. A tough 94 is a fly ball to left. Kingman, he's there. And that retires the side. Barry Foote is leading it off. Mets are going to have a new pitcher. New pitcher is going to be Wayne Twitchell. Actually, yep. Twitchell's coming in. Here's a pitch to Foote. There's a pitch to Foote. Barry Foote is 1 for 2. He's doubled, walked, and flied out. And that's a 5. Ballpark 91. That's going to be in play on Foote's card. A righty in play is going to be an out, 66. Rounded to second, Doug Flynn throws out Foote. And now it's going to be Kenny Holtzman. And we're going to bring in a pinch hitter for Kenny Holtzman. It's going to be Scott Thompson. So Scott Thompson's pinch hitting for Ken Holtzman. Going to add him. Thompson. Scott. Here's the pitch to Scott Thompson. That's a 7. Patient 50. A patient 50 against a righty is going to be out range. It's a grounded to third. And Hebner throws him out. It's 5-3. There's 2 outs now. And we are in the top of the ninth. The Cubs lead it by a score of 3-1. The Cubs have 3 runs, 7 hits, 1 error, 7 left on base. The Mets have 1 run, 4 hits, 1 error, 3 left on base. There's 2 outs. And the batter is Ivan De Jesus, who's 1 for 4 on the day. The pitch from Wayne Twitchell. That's 9. Tough 27. A tough 27. A strikeout. So the Cheese gets. That should have been. I forgot to move the card. What did we say was it was a 20, it was a 9. Tough 27. Tough 27 is a strikeout. All right, it retires the side, and last licks for the Mets. Kenny Holzman's out of there. Kenny Holzman's out of there. We're going to see Bruce Sutter. This is the closer for the Cubs. And here's a pitch. Sutter was 6-6 with a 2.22 ERA and 37 saves. Here's the pitch to Taveras. Taveras is 0 for 3 on the day. That's an 11. Tough. A tough 78. So grounded is short. De Jesus fires the first. 1 down. Next is Lee Mazzilli, who's 1 for 3. That's a 9. That's in play 89. That's going to be out range. Grounded is short again. Ivan De Jesus. 6-3, 2 down. And it's Richie Hebner. Richie Hebner's 1 for 3. 2 outs. This is last batter for the Mets, unless they can get something going here. Ooh. It's a foul ball into the stands. And that's a 6. That's tough. A tough 80 is going to be a fly ball center field. Jerry Martin has it in his sights and puts it away. Game over. Cubs win it by a score of 3-1. I'll go over the line scores right now. The loss is going to go to Falcone for the Mets, and the win is going to go to Kenny Holzman. The line scores: Cubs 3 runs, 7 hits, 1 error, 7 left on base. The Mets 1 run, 4 hits, 1 error, 3 left on base. This is actually a doubleheader. So we're going to play. We're going to get another game going, and we're going to play another game. Holzman's going to get the win, and the save is going to go to Bruce Sutter. And the loss is going to go to Pete Falcone. And we're going to set up another game. So that's it for this replay game, number 37. We're going to go to number 38 now. It's the second half of a doubleheader. We're going to set that up, and we'll be back soon.